Some people don't realize the value of a person until the silence replaces their voice. And that truth is one of the saddest lessons life teaches. Because while someone is alive, their presence becomes normal. Their sacrifices become expected. Their love becomes routine. Their phone calls become interruptions. Their advice becomes nagging. Their flaws become easier to notice than their worth. But the moment death enters the room, everything changes. The same laugh people ignored suddenly becomes unforgettable. The same person people overlooked suddenly becomes irreplaceable. The same memories people once brushed aside suddenly become priceless treasures no amount of money can buy back. Death has a painful way of removing distractions and forcing people to finally see clearly. And sometimes, clarity comes too late. There are people walking this earth right now who have never truly been appreciated by the people around them. Not because they lacked value, but because human beings often struggle to recognize blessings while they still have access to them. That's one of the deepest flaws of human nature. We adapt to people's presence so quickly that we stop noticing how much they actually carry in our lives. A mother cooks every day, and nobody thinks twice about it until the kitchen becomes quiet. A father works himself to exhaustion, and nobody understands the weight he carried until his chair at the table sits empty. A grandparent calls constantly, and the calls feel repetitive until the phone stops ringing forever. A loyal friend checks on everybody, but when they're gone, people suddenly realize they were the glue holding everyone together. It's strange how people can spend years overlooking someone, then spend the rest of their lives missing them. Because death removes the illusion that time is unlimited. When someone is alive, people unconsciously believe, I'll spend more time with them later. I'll apologize another day. I'll visit next week. I'll tell them I love them eventually. But death interrupts those plans without warning, and suddenly later disappears. That's why funerals are filled with words people should have said while the person was breathing. At funerals, people speak about kindness they never acknowledged. They cry over sacrifices they barely noticed. They tell stories about how important someone was, even if they rarely showed it while that person was alive. And the painful part is, many people aren't pretending. They genuinely did love the person. They just never slowed down long enough to fully recognize their importance. Life moves fast. Too fast. People become consumed by stress, work, bills, pride, distractions, social media, personal problems, and temporary emotions. And in the middle of all that noise, they begin taking permanent people for granted. That's why death feels so shocking. Not only because someone is gone, but because it forces people to confront everything they failed to appreciate. Every ignored text, every postponed visit, every harsh word, every missed opportunity, every moment they assumed would always be there. Death turns ordinary memories into sacred ones. Suddenly people replay small moments over and over. The sound of their laugh, the way they walked into a room, the random jokes they used to tell, the smell of their clothes, the little habits that once seemed insignificant. Things that felt small become enormous once they no longer exist. And that realization can break a person emotionally. Because grief is not just sadness over death. Grief is also the pain of recognition. Recognition of love. Recognition of value. Recognition of moments that can never be recreated again. A lot of people think grief only comes from losing someone. But sometimes grief also comes from realizing you failed to fully see them while they were here. That guilt stays with people, especially when someone spent their life loving others quietly. Some people are so dependable, so consistent, so selfless, that others start assuming they'll always be there. The strong friend, the caring mother, the loyal husband, the hardworking father, the protective older sibling, the person who keeps everybody laughing, the person who checks on everyone else while secretly carrying their own pain. People often don't realize how much emotional weight those individuals carry until they collapse or disappear. And sadly, society has a habit of celebrating people louder after death than during life. Artists become legends after they die. family members suddenly become the heart of the family. People who struggled silently become symbols of strength after their absence creates a hole nobody can fill. It raises an uncomfortable question. Why does death make people pay attention? Part of the answer is because death removes distraction. When someone is alive, people focus on imperfections, arguments, mood swings, differences, annoyances, human flaws. But death strips all of that away and reveals what truly mattered. Their presence, their existence alone had value. And once that existence disappears, people finally understand what they were feeling all along. Love. Real love often hides underneath routine. You don't always notice how important someone is while seeing them every day. But remove them permanently, and suddenly life itself feels different. The house feels colder. Food tastes different. Holidays feel incomplete. Music hits differently. Entire parts of life lose color. That's because human beings leave emotional fingerprints on each other. And when someone dies, their physical body may leave, but their emotional imprint remains everywhere. In the hallway, in the car, in certain songs, in family traditions, in inside jokes, in random moments that trigger memories out of nowhere. Sometimes years later, a smell or a song can instantly bring someone back into your mind. That's how powerful human connection really is. And unfortunately, many people only fully understand that connection after loss. But there's also something educational about this painful reality. Death teaches people what truly matters. It teaches that time is not guaranteed. It teaches that love should be expressed while people can still hear it. It teaches that appreciation should not wait for funerals. It teaches that flowers are more meaningful in someone's hands than on their grave. Too many people wait until death to become emotionally honest. But the wiser lesson is learning to give people their flowers while they are alive. Tell people you appreciate them now. Call people now. Forgive people now. Spend time now. Because one day, the opportunity will disappear forever. And nothing hurts more than having love trapped inside you with nowhere left to place it. That's why some people cry so deeply at funerals. Not only because somebody died, but because they finally understand the full weight of who that person truly was. Sometimes the quietest people carried the most love. Sometimes the overlooked people held entire families together emotionally. Sometimes the people who smiled the most were fighting invisible battles nobody ever noticed. Death exposes hidden value. And once people finally see it, they wish they had seen it sooner. The saddest part about being human is that permanence blinds us. People act as if tomorrow is promised, as if conversations can always happen later, as if relationships can always be repaired another day. But life does not operate on guarantees. One phone call can change everything forever. And after that moment, people would trade money, pride, status, and possessions just to hear that person's voice one more time. That alone proves what truly matters in life. Not fame, not ego, not temporary arguments, not material things. People, connection, love, presence. Because in the end, when someone dies, nobody talks about how expensive their shoes were or how many followers they had. People remember how they made others feel. They remember kindness, loyalty, sacrifice, laughter, comfort, wisdom, moments. That is the real legacy people leave behind. And maybe that's the lesson death keeps trying to teach humanity over and over again. Do not wait for absence to create appreciation. See people clearly while they are still here. Because one day, the ordinary moments you barely notice today may become the memories you miss for the rest of your life.